Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Alright, so folks, with the very end of this new anniversary event is the Kingdom Celebration. Pretty expected that we would have this event. Same as it's always been. You got the power boost, got the King's Assessment, Assembly, that gives nice stuff for recharging. Pretty standard stuff here. Then we got the supply and the whole raffle. I'll tell you guys, I did really well in the raffle this time. I got 2 20s, 3 5s. I'm up to 390 total fragments. So I'll definitely be able to buy a red dragon skill soon. But I'm gonna wait for them to be on discount. But reason why we're making this video, there have been some new added dragon skills that I want to talk about. So, just to really quickly recap them, obviously you have the 3 base ones that are just the cavalry attack, infantry attack, spearman attack. Bowman attack is something that you can actually get without buying these fragments. It's just available regularly in the shop, so you don't want to waste them here. Then you also have the army health, army defense, and army attack ones. Then you've got the whole legion ones. You've got legion survival, legion damage, legion healing, reroute, all that good stuff. Hopefully these are ones you're familiar with, the counter and then the anti-counter. We got legion building. Like, all these should be familiar. Reinforcements, what I'm saving up for. I really want reinforcement, but I'm going to wait for it to be on discount, like I said. And then most recently we've had the new dragon ones. So first we had the dragon follow-up skill, or the dragon heal skill. This one, basically, whenever your dragon uses an ability, uses an attack, there's a chance. Every time your commander uses an attack, there's a chance that your dragon, hypothetically your dragon, but it's just going to heal. This is the follow-up. So this is when dragon actually does another attack after your commanders use an active army skill. It's going to do 180% once it's at full max. If there are multiple dragons doing it, it can do up to 500%. Ton of extra damage whenever your commanders do an active army skill. If it does trigger on that 1/5 chance, huge. The dragon. Here it is. The dragon assist skill is the one that I was trying to say before, where it does the whole healing thing. It's also known as the dragon healing event. Whenever your dragon has an attack, then there's a 40% chance it's going to heal 12% of your troops. You also have the dragon strong assault, where this one, basically, when your dragon has skills, whenever your commander's army goes, basically, it's going to make your commanders do more damage. Just basically stacking that. Similarly to the way this one works with the follow-up skill, means your dragon does the extra damage. This one just means your commanders do the extra damage. Now, there have been 2 extra ones they've added. The dragon flame skill, and then the dragon weakness skill. So dragon flame skill gives enemy troop attack reduction, like all of the dragon skills do. They give troop attack or troop attack reductions. So this one's troop attack reduction. And what the actual dragon flame skill states is that for every 10 additional attacks triggered by allied troops, there's a 40% chance that your dragon launches a flame attack with a damage coefficient of 180%, could go up to 500%, against the current target lineup. Then it says that this additional attack stacks on the effects of Sinara and Kravis's War Soul Awakening skill. So, really quickly, this sounds very familiar to the dragon follow-up skill, right? I mean, it's a very similar sounding, follows up, does the whole damage coefficient of 180%, can stack up to 500%. The difference is that the follow-up skill is based on active army skills. This one is based on just normal attacks. So I think that the key with this is that they, have the whole different setups with the commanders, and I love that they are now introducing that along with the different setups for your commanders, you also want to change up your dragon skills. So the female commander setup, where you're doing tons of active army skills, makes some sense to have the dragon follow-up, because then you're getting your dragon to follow up on their army skills more often. This one works great with the, kind of a bunch of the infantry commanders like Rhea and Barrett, and the tier 5 ones. You've I don't know why I'm spacing on his name in this moment. I'm just going to go to it really quickly. Sorry, Sandor Clegane. I don't know why I couldn't get out Sandor Clegane. But his whole deal with his awakening, where he does the extra 40 normal attacks, right? Then you do all this extra damage, and there are all these other abilities that can make you attack more quickly. So basically, anyone that synergizes well with Sandor, then they're going to do well with that other one. While we're quickly over here, I just wanted to also show you guys, it said that it's synergized with Sinara and Kravis. So Sinara, hers is the one that's going to do extra follow-up abilities quickly. So if we look at this one, her ability, whenever melee troops use their normal attack, there's a 70% chance of attacking an additional time. This is basically the same. Like, you can really think of this as very similar to the whole Layla ability with the female commanders, using their active army skills as a follow-up. It really is almost exactly the same, and that's why I think it's so clever of them to have done this with the dragon skills, to have that dragon skill be based on the actual usage of the army attacks instead of the commander active army skills. So really clever. Basically the same thing, though, if you're using that Sinara and Sandor and the rest of them versus using the Layla and the other female commanders, Cersei, and that setup with the dragon follow-up. Then the last one is the Dragon Weakness skill. So this one says, again, it gives the enemy attack reduction. Then it says for every 10 weakness attacks initiated by the allied troops, the current target lineup's health will be reduced by 15%. So along the same lines, right, this one is 10 normal attacks. This is 10 weakness attacks. And as we've been establishing, the last lineup that we haven't been discussing so far was the weakness attack setup with Jaime Lannister and then a healer, and the whole weakness attack setup that they use. So what they've effectively done is, if you're using a female lineup, you want the dragon follow-up skill. If you're using a normal attack setup, which means Sinara and then the other normal attack based ones, you want the follow-up skill. You want the flame skill. If you're doing weakness attacks through Jaime, Peter Baelish, and then the healers, so either Enzo, Latz, or Drake, or you can use Arslan, or you can use the Dragon Assist skill that gives you the healing. Any of those plus Jaime, who gives you your weakness attacks, then you want the Dragon Weakness skill. So they've really done a nice job of kind of making it very clear which skill you want with which commanders, and obviously it's going to work better when you synergize it properly. I think that of these, clearly they're good with their setups. I think that this is definitely pretty good. Reducing the target's health by 60% is pretty considerable. This one for sure, doing extra damage, always good. If you get a bunch of these dragons together and they're doing a 500% damage, similar to the dragon follow-up skill, that's going to be great. But these are both very low chances, just 20% for both of them. This one's actually 40%, so it's a little bit higher. That's really important to note, that you do have a much higher chance of the dragon flame skill being used than the follow-up skill. But I'm personally, I don't love that risk. It adds an element of randomness to it. I like the fact that this one is guaranteed. The second you use 10 weakness attacks, you automatically get that 15% health reduction. So it is interesting. You get 40 weakness attacks in, and then bam, 60% reduced immediately. So that's definitely very, very interesting, very important to understand these two new skills that have been added, and just understanding how they synergize with the commanders that they correspond to. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about all these new dragon skills and how they interact with your commanders. Again, just really quickly, please make sure that you understand when you go to the commanders, you can click on this and it'll tell you some lineup recommendations. Basically now, the thing to add is that you just realize if this is a healing and weakness attack setup, that's the dragon skill you want with that one. Let's say if we go to Layla, right, hers says the whole female commanders setup, female skill setup. That means you want that corresponding dragon skill. And then last but not least, if I go down to Sinara and her setups, the whole normal attack setup, any of those guys, that means you want her corresponding dragon skill. So hopefully using this can guide you and really help you in understanding, okay, which setup am I using, which corresponding dragon skill then do I want between weakness, flame, and follow-up. Alright folks, hope this was helpful. Until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr, and I'll see you then.